Something's trying to hold me back. Something's trying to make me change. Anything that nobody make me change. So step back, that's my back. So get back, you better get back, get back, get back.
With the SiriusXM Platinum VIP plan, you can unlock the ultimate listening experience in up to 2 cars and stream anywhere with 2 app logins. Enjoy our greatest content, opportunities for live VIP experiences, and prioritize customer care. Plus, get access to over 5,000 audio and video concert recordings through nugs.net. Call 844-711-8800 and become a VIP. Offer details apply. Not available in Canada. SiriusXM takes you on a summer getaway to Milan with Italy's own Måneskin, performing their biggest songs from the legendary San Siro Stadium. Global sensation Måneskin, captured live in Milan. Debuts today, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, exclusively on All Nation, Channel 36, and on the SXM app.
Get the SiriusXM app and listen on your phone when you get out of the car. Anywhere you take your phone, you can take Howard Stern, NFL Radio, and commercial-free music channels from nearly every genre. You never have to miss your favorite SiriusXM programs or commercial-free music. Find the SiriusXM app in the App Store or call 844-711-8800 or visit SiriusXM.com/app to find out more.
This is Road Dog Trucking Radio.
It's not about trucks. It's not about loads. It's about people.
Real people, real jobs, real problems.
Road Dog has a way of bringing drivers together.
Credibility. People who listen to us can trust what we're telling them. Accuracy in reporting, integrity in business dealings.
An opportunity to express opinions, have a voice, be heard.
Because nothing will change unless you raise your voice and you make sure that you're heard.
That's it, man. This is going to change your life.
To hear Road Dog Trucking, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Amazing moments happen so much at SiriusXM. We want you to see them. SiriusXM Video lets you watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artists you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
I'm actor, writer, director, and sometimes DJ Diallo Riddle.
And I'm producer and songwriter Luxury.
And this is One Song, a podcast where we celebrate and deconstruct some of your favorite songs from the last 60 years and tell you why they deserve one more listen.
We'll take you inside these songs, tell you the story of how they were made, how they were recorded, and bring to life what makes them so special.
One Song on Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio, Channel 96. And listen anytime on the SXM app, included with all of our trials and popular plans.
Your business, your money, your life.
Marketing, expanding, and branding.
SiriusXM Business Radio.
SiriusXM Business Radio.
Your business, your money, your life.
Entrepreneurs, CEOs, and investors.
SiriusXM Business Radio.
To hear Business Radio, activate your radio now. Call 844-711-8800 or go to SiriusXM.com/go to sign up quickly.
Right now on Sports Grid Radio, Channel 204, and the SXM app, free for most subscribers.
Amazing moments happen so much at SiriusXM. We want you to see them. SiriusXM Video lets you watch some of your favorite SiriusXM shows on the SXM app. Groundbreaking interviews, amazing in-show moments, behind-the-scenes footage, live performances, all come to life in a way you only imagined before. Plus, you can create your own personalized Pandora station based on the artists you love. And hear over 100 extra channels filled with ad-free music for every mood or occasion. Get your first 6 months of our Platinum plan for only $8.33 per month, plus fees and taxes. Just call 844-711-8800 to take advantage of this amazing offer.
Rondo Deportes, Bonjour, Vidi Vidi Vici. Let's get ready to rumble. Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe. According to people who have 27 applications, there's only one. Out of 8 billion people on the planet, only one has 27 podcast applications. That is 7 9-series DNA. Give God praise. I want to say what a beautiful day. It is actually August coming up tomorrow. So we're going to finish out the day is July 31st, 2023. I want to say it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Won't you be my? Won't you be my? Won't you be my neighbor? My neighbor say, shut up! You know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, my clock said it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, I guess I got to fix it. You can follow Big C Sports Podcast. 27 podcast applications all over the universe. You can find us on Google, Alexa, Spotify, Speaker Podcast, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio Podcast, Castbox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Good Pods, Geosavon Podcast out of London, England, as well as India and Africa. I got a guy from India called me this morning. I missed his call. I was traveling through dim there hills, but I will get back to him like the great Arnold Schwarzenegger said. I'll be back. Podtail, YouTube, Hub Harbor Station Podcast, Radio Line, Repod Podcast, Luminary Podcast, Listen Notes, Podcast Wise, Podbay, Grubber Podcast, Podcast Policy, Podcast Republic. Oh my goodness, but there's only one that used to scare me and then it stopped, but now it's back again. It's called allfees.ai. Give that some praise. I think that's why the Hollywood's on strike. They figured out, why are we paying people when this damn robot never talks back? He never wants a raise. He never pickets around the building. They don't picket around the building. They just do what you tell them to do. But I've been telling these programmers in Hollywood, I said there's a switch that you can use and you can turn off the robot. We heard about it a long time ago. In fact, when my mama and daddy would close that door and say, boys, go outside, I'd hear, turn off the lights and light a candle. You see, I'm in a romantic mood, yeah. He said, turn off the lights, ding, and come to me. You see, there's something I want to do to you, baby. Turn them off. And then my mama would turn the lights off. 7 babies later, now I understand. But you gotta find a way to turn off those robots. But don't turn off Teddy. Whatever you do, don't turn off Teddy Pendergrass. I always produce my show. My show is fresh daily. I produce it. I direct it. You know, last night I was trying to find some all you can eat seafood. You know, they tell you can have all you can eat seafood, but they don't tell you that all the stores close at 2 o'clock in the morning. Because at 11 o'clock, sometimes the fish say, man, I'm tired of feeding these people. And so we couldn't get some seafood. It was like 11 o'clock trying to go out and eat in dim their heels. All friend, level war. But at the same time, I always produce a show. That's number 1. Number 2, I direct the topics. Number 3, I broadcast all the shows. Number 4, I do all the sound effects based on the platform provided by the agency. We could all use more laughter in our lives. I know I can. And then the commercials are done unlike any sports show in the universe. I do all of my commercials up front. I don't do mid-rolls. I don't pause and do 2 or 3 commercials within a 30-minute show. I do an hour show. I stop. I go non-stop. 0 to 60 in 10 seconds flat. 10 seconds flat is slow. 0 to 60. If you're running 100-meter, 10 seconds is fast. But most cars now, 0 to 60. If you're not going 5 seconds or faster, then I consider that fast. But the commercials are done. The stats provided. The storytelling. I want to go, I got NFL football coming up soon. But I'm telling you, I'm going to say, up to the line of scrimmage, 5-man wide out, 4-man front. The snap rolling back to his right, throws downfield, and is caught for the touchdown! Touchdown! Big C! Got little boys catching 50-yard passes. Football starts up on Thursday night. It's amazing. We're already here. People are in camp, training camp. Couple of players have pulled some hamstrings. We got to fix those hamstrings. They got to stretch more if that makes sense to you. And then, I'm telling you, I upload the show. It goes out to 27 multiple podcast platforms. Out of New York City, I'm in Dim Hills, California. And then 4 TV platforms, Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. But you better have a smart TV or you'll be sitting there looking at a still picture. I got a call from a good old boy today from the East Coast. Got some opportunities coming up maybe with Big C Sports Podcast, dealing with some people that just want to do the expansion of sports. And I'm looking forward to it. It keeps coming at me in waves as I do more meditating, if that makes sense to you. I want to pass on to something that I talk about in every show because it's important to me. Doing some traveling in Dimdale Hills over the weekend, I love paying homage to our Veterans Crisis Hotline. There are a lot of people that maybe falling between the cracks, and I'm sure that many of them have served this country at some time or another. I want to say the Veterans Crisis Hotline, they will stand on their head to get you some help. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones. You know anybody going through issues? 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And when you do, you want to give them some praise because we all need somebody to lean on. I know I need somebody to lean on. And what did Teddy Pendergrass say? He said it's so good leaning on somebody when somebody's leaning back. Let me say it one more time. He said it's so good leaning on somebody when somebody's leaning back. I love when somebody's leaning back. And that's what the Veterans Crisis Hotline does for you. They actually lean back. Now, speaking of leaning, ring, 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 ring. Hello. Hey, it is Carlton. Yeah, this is Carlton. How can I help you? Hey, Carlton, this is Get the Dough Sports Betting. Who are you? I am Get the Dough Sports Betting. Hey, Get the Dough Sports Betting. How can I help you? He said, man, you a hard nut to crack. I say, yeah, sometimes cracking nuts can be pretty hard cracking nuts. I said, how can I help you? He said, you know, there's a lot riding on some of the games tonight, and we got the winning formula. But since you haven't been influenced enough to listen to what we tell you about getting you some money, I got another deal. I talked to my manager about it. He said we can talk to you if we give you one more time. You only got one more bet you can give. It's the last day of the month. It's a can't miss curry. I said, that sounds like a good deal. What I gotta do? He said, how much money can you put up curry on the sure bet can't miss game? I said I got 5 on it. You got 5 on it? And he turned around and told his homie, he said, hey, this guy's got $5,000 on the big game tonight. I said, wait a minute. I said I got $5. Why is that an insult? Because the dude called me a smart eye. Our bets don't start for less than $500 curry. I said, if you know how to win, if I give you $5 and if you're going to win, why would you turn around and make it $25? 800 gambler, they're always calling you to take money out of your wallet. They never offer to take money out of their wallet. They always want to take money out of your wallet, and they guarantee you. If it's a guarantee, just give me the money without betting. Give that some praise. If it's guaranteed, why don't you just give me the money? Give me the money first. And after you give me the money, I'll give you $5 back plus another $5. What a bargain. They say, no, that's not how it works, smart. I like, well, if you like giving your money to a stranger, sitting on his toilet in someplace USA and pleading the fifth, not telling you anything about him or her, they ask you for your credit card, expiration date, 3-digit code on the back, and oftentimes your address, and they want you to keep that credit card on file. What they don't do is insure the money. They don't insure the money against a loss. If the money is lost, it's just gone. And be careful, because in casinos, they have people walking around cigarette smoking. People are out of shape. It's nasty. But people walk around in these casinos. You would think you're at a sports bar. They advertise, come to the casino and lose your money. They make it seem like you're going to a sports bar. It's all you can eat food. Who knows if the food's any good? And then they tell you that you can win money on these machines. And at the same time, there's no guarantees you lose anything. Be careful. Always know how much. What did Lenny Kravitz say? Lenny Kravitz said in one of his songs, he said, you got to know when to hold on, know when to fold on, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the deal is done. That's not Lenny Kravitz. That's not Lenny Kravitz. That's not Lenny Kravitz at all. Well, either way, you know what the words. You know the words. Don't count the money sitting at the table. In fact, be careful in those gambling institutions. I want to say also, I love the talking reparations now, reparations forever. I'm going to make sure that the NFL will address reparations at Big C Sports and many other smart men. Jaden Brown for the Boston Celtics, the first athlete, at least for this year, to talk about the Black Wall Street. I love talking about those things. Even our white brethren, the ACLU, they're all part of it. They all want to be a part of reparations. They know it's time to pay somebody back. Whenever you go and you check into a room and they ask you, do you want a receipt? You say, yes, I'd like to have a receipt. They give you a receipt, and it shows that you bought the room. That's why they give you the receipt. When you buy food, they ask you, do you want a receipt? You say, I'll take a receipt. It's proof that you bought the meal that you're about to eat or that you've already eaten. That's what the receipt's for. And we have a receipt, too. It's called Reparations Now, Reparations Forever. We have a receipt called the Emancipation Proclamation. I want to make sure I get on that. I want to pay homage to Janie Harm, the Associated Press, on March 29th, 2023. She contacted Charlton Curry of Big C Sports to talk about reparations. She didn't call me to talk about sports. There's a lot more people in this country that have a household name more than Big C Sports. For now. But because I speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. People are paying attention. I know many sports agents around the country. I've interviewed some of them. And I'm telling you, this movement is not a movement if you let it go. But I'm not letting it go. And there are more people who are household names more than Big C Sports that are grabbing onto the truth. I have my receipt. It's like talking to God and asking God for the $6 billion. I got to get $6 billion before Christmas of 2023. I'm asking the Ancient of Days. I'm not even talking to a man or woman, but I got to get $6 billion. And so many things are lining up for that. And I know it's going to happen. I feel like it's already happened. I feel there's an ancient thinker said there's a gland in the brain called the pineal gland. They call it the third eye. And it says how you talk to God. I've been meditating things. Meditating not a word. Meditating is manifestation. And meditation. And things have been coming true. It's amazing. And I know that $6 billion is going to hit because I'm going to help create Big C Sports, a global sports company connecting people to the gospel and sports. You got to give that some praise. Who doesn't want to connect to God? No matter what your thoughts are, atheist, agnostic. But there's a belief, and I believe it goes around the world, that every person wants to feel significant. Every person does. And you can only feed people leftovers for so long. Sometimes they want something new. And that's why I'm asking, all I need is $1 from 6 billion people, or a corporation that can see the power of what Big C Sports is doing and get behind it and give that some praise. I'm one beautiful, intelligent black man. I don't have 19 people helping me. I do my own research. And if I get it wrong sometimes, so what? I'm the only sports show in the universe that will ask people to fact check me while I'm doing my show. If I'm wrong, I look pretty stupid. But I'm not stupid. I'm not an idiot. I believe in doing the best I can and asking God, the Ancient of Days, the same spirit that woke me up this morning, the same spirit that makes food grow out of the ground, the same spirit that keeps our hearts beating. That's who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to some corporation. I'm not asking anyone to affirm the action. I'm asking Almighty God that created the fowl in the air, and the fish in the sea, in the oceans. Because things have happened in life that you just talk about it enough with a lot of passion, and shazam! And it shows up. So yes, $6 billion. That's not too much to ask for when you're asking someone that created the whole universe. Because sometimes we think we gotta go and ask a person, and you asking a person, they may not want to see you succeed. They may not want to see you have what you want. They may not have the capacity. You can't talk to everybody about everything. And so it goes back to the story. Why did Janie Harm of 8 billion people on the planet. Why does she call Charlton Curry? I didn't know her from Adam. But I asked her, what makes you call me? There's so many more well-known people. She said you're not like the others. Isn't that something? And a lot of those others, they've been laid off. God is my boss. I want to do the Big C Sports Podcast until I close my eyes. And then I want to be creative to my children. When they see the power of speaking can make you a fortune. When you speak all around the world, you speak to the universe, you can make a fortune. Not because it's art, and I'm telling you, I've been saying this for a while, and I hope I'm wrong, but artificial intelligence has taken over broadcasting. You're going to see, you don't believe it? Watch Bugs Bunny Roadrunner. You don't see a person, you see animation. You don't have to pay you don't have to pay animation. Computers can do it now. And they have this Hollywood strike going on. A lot of those guys, they're not going to get their jobs back because computers can take their voice and sample it, and they can use animation to get our curiosity. Isn't that the movie Black Panther? They use animation. They use people too, but animation, those spaceships were not real. When you look at Star Trek and Star Wars, there were not people in outer space on the Death Star. Those stormtroopers, you never really saw them. They can do it CGI. Darth Vader's voice, I'm Luke, I'm your father, Luke. Luke, I'm your father. You never saw James Earl Jones in the movie. But that was the voice of Darth Vader. When you watch Beam Me Up Scotty on Star Trek, they don't really beam people up from one place to another place. It's CGI. And so now we have Hollywood actors and actresses saying, we want more money. We're not being paid a living wage. We want to make more money. And the powers that be, they're thinking, why would I pay one person $100,000 a year when I can just plug in a robot and it doesn't talk back? It doesn't call in sick. It doesn't show up late. And that's something for all of us to pay attention to. But if you have your own platform, you can control whether you turn it on or off. And that's why with Big C Sports Podcast, I want to always turn me on. I want to turn it on. Don't listen to Teddy. There's one time I don't want you to listen to Teddy Pendergrass. But he said, turn it off. No, turn it on. I want to turn it on. And Janie Hard, the Associated Press, when she called me about the Reparations Task Force, and she said, what are your thoughts on reparations? I said, reparations now, reparations forever. And she said, well, I haven't even asked you the question yet. I said, I don't care what it is, it's reparations. Because that's a fact. Don't shuck and jive. A lot of people got a shuck and jive mentality. If you want something, ask people, what do you want? In fact, put it in writing and send it to me. Because good people, there's some people who are good salesmen. They'll just talk, and they'll twist your words. Next thing you know, you order the Big C burger with 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and they bring you a cheese sandwich. So I ordered the cheese sandwich. They say, yeah, you said you wanted special cheese. I said, no, I wanted 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions on a sesame seed bun. And so the smart people, when they're salespeople, they can mix your words up. They can twist your words up. If you have people put things in writing, it makes it more concise, and you're least likely to make a mistake. So put things in writing, and that's why I told the Associated Press, reparations now, reparations forever. There was no misunderstanding what I ordered. I ordered reparations. And now when you get into people talking about reparations, some people want to say, well, it's not just for the descendants of chattel slavery, it's for everybody. Well, everybody wasn't a slave. I'm saying for descendants of chattel slavery. I want people that say, reparations? What reparations? Google Survivor Today Act of 2017. The Justice for Uncompensated Survivor Today Act of 2017 is United States of America legislation that requires the State Department to report to Congress on steps that 47 countries in Europe have taken to compensate Holocaust survivors and their heirs for assets seized by Nazi Germany and post-war communist governments. It was black Americans that helped end Hitler's reign. And we're the only ones who didn't get reparations. It's got to happen now, and you got to give that some praise. Don't act like it's not supposed to happen. I know you want to know who won the game. Even the United Nations Human Rights Chief calls for reparations for descendants of chattel slavery. I want to pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force before I talk a little bit of sports. And I'm so proud of Jaylen Brown for the Boston Celtics when they ask him when he signed that record contract, what do you want to do next? What do you want to do now? And he said he wants to bring the Black Wall Street to Boston, give that some praise. He wasn't shucking and jiving. He didn't say, I want to sell more shoes. He didn't say, I want to go to the club. Bottle full of bug. He said he wants to bring the Black Wall Street to Boston. Boston's been one of the most segregated cities in United States sports. A lot of black athletes, they had a lot of umbrage from people, fans, not all the fans, but there's been, it's documented, issues of segregation in Boston. Even the most famous athlete, Bill Russell, 11 championships in 13 seasons, wasn't always made to feel welcome. That's not an indictment on every Bostonian, but there are a lot of times when people that played for the Red Sox, they heard some egregious behavior. Because some people, they're just stupid, and they have stupid children, and they go to these sports games, and they show their stupidity when they have a couple of libations in them. And a lot of black men, if you have a uniform, and they love you, want you to kiss their wife, want you to kiss their kids. Man, can you take a picture with my wife? I've seen men ask an athlete to sign his wife's bosom. Can you sign your name on her bosom? See the lady pull the bosom out. It's a true story. Because an athlete is like a drug to some people. Now, if he pulled the bosom out, he wasn't in a uniform, he might call 911. And that's a fact. I've seen people do things for athletes that they don't do for a regular person. Or when they realize you play sport, you play ball? Oh, you play ball? I know who you are now. Can you take a picture? Can you take a picture with my wife? I've seen it with my own two eyes. And I want to say, if we can get people to admire reparations the same way they admire athletes, you got to give that some praise. That's why I'm asking athletes to quit shucking and driving and tell the people that you deserve reparations. And you want to see reparations now? Reparations forever. A lot of our beautiful, intelligent black men, they say nothing about some of the most seminal moments that can happen in the history of this country, which is reparations. That's why I'm proud of Jaylen Brown. He's not the most well-known black athlete in the country. There's a lot of people that line up in front of him when it comes to, can you tell me who he is? But that brother's brilliant. And there's so many good people behind him. It's not about black or white. It's about good versus evil. Which line are you in? You in the good line or the evil line? And it doesn't care what color you are. And I believe more and more as Big C Sports and other people like Jaylen Brown, and we get some of our more prominent black athletes and white ones too, when they start talking about good versus evil, remember, I have my receipt. I have my receipt for the food that I ordered. I have my receipt for the room that I bought. I have my receipt for the book I checked out at the library. I have my receipt for the grocery store. I have my receipt for the $1.05 billion lotto ticket that I just bought today. You have your receipt for it. We all have a receipt for reparations, so what are you afraid of? If we could get more people to do what Jaylen Brown did. You know, Jaylen Brown's not one of the athletes that they prop up on television to sell shoes and cars and other type of sports drinks and things of that nature. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if I could just get a few good men, a few good black men and black women, and a few good white men and white women, you know, the good versus evil. If I could get a few good people to champion reparations, the same way we championed the Me Too movement, the same way we ended apartheid. It wasn't just black Americans that ended apartheid, it was our good white brethren too. There's good and bad in all societies. So we're not talking about people who are bad. We're talking about people who have a heart for the right thing. And the right thing is, as I've been saying for about 4 years now, reparations now, reparations forever. So now understand what you said, you're not like the others. You're not like the others that are propped up on television to make people listen to them and read those teleprompters. I don't read teleprompters. I want to pay homage to the California Reparations Task Force because they're doing what Big C Sports talked about. And the task force was mandated by a white man, Governor Gavin Newsom in California. And if I could just get a few good black men and black women and white men and white women, good people, no matter what ethnic group you are, if we could get a few good people in corporations and sports teams owners to do what California Governor Gavin Newsom did. He mandated a task force to study reparations. And some of our brethren won't even give him praise. They just sit there quiet as a mouse. He might think, why in the world I'm trying to help them? They won't even clap for themselves. Big C claps. Give that some praise. I want to pay homage to the Reparations Task Force, Camila Moore, the chair, brilliant. Dr. Amos C. Brown, the vice chair, brilliant. The best senator in the United States, Senator Stephen Bradford, brilliant. Councilmember Monica Montgomery Steppe, brilliant. Assemblymember Reginald Jones Sawyer, brilliant. Dr. Shell Grillis, brilliant. Attorney Lisa Holder, brilliant. Dr. Javon Scott Lewis, professor at Cal Berkeley, brilliant. And Donald K. Tamaki, brilliant. I want to give them all praise. Yeah, they love sports too, and so do I. But as this comes more and more, you can't just chop down an oak tree with one swing. All the time, you got to swing that axe over and over and over and over again. Give doing something over and over and over and over again some praise. Most things in life, they don't come with one swing. You got to keep swinging that bat. You got to swing that axe. And to get good people, it's good versus evil. Because not everybody wants to see reparations passed. Some people want to see, yeah, I know you got a receipt, boy, but I'm not giving you nothing. That land was stolen 150 years ago. Why would I pay you anything? Look at all the loans we made on that land. Look at how much business we started on that land. How many houses we built on that land. How many farms we built on that land. How many bank loans we got because we had the land. How dare you ask me to give it back? Because those are evil people, and they're in politics too. Because every one of those evil people that are anti-reparations, have someone break into their house tonight and steal everything. The first thing they do, they call 911. They call 911, say, hello, this is 911, how can we help you? I want to report a burglary. What happened? They stole everything. Who is they? I don't know, but everything's gone. They'd ask for the address, what's your name, and they'd send police out there to report. And some of those same people that are turned their backs on reparations, they'd be the first one to call and ask for the police to come investigate so they can see if they can get the stuff back. Can you help us get our stuff back? And they say, well, Mr. Politician, aren't you the one that's anti-reparations? Politician says, what that got to do with anything? And the law enforcement said, well, why would you want something back that belonged to you? And the politician said, because it's mine. That's why I want it back. So if you want something back that belongs to you, how do you turn your back on reparations? Oh, there you go again. That happened a long time ago. And that's why it's good versus evil, not about black and white. That's why reparations is about good versus evil. When you call law enforcement because something's been stolen, you simply want it back. Doesn't matter what color you are. So if you can acknowledge that you want it back because it was stolen, how are you anti-reparations for the descendants of child slavery? And that's why I want to give that some praise. I really do appreciate the task force. I'm going to talk about some things that are important to me. Everybody has their own thoughts about how to do things in life. And I'm one of them. I love so much what I do with Big C Sports Podcast. And I wanna bring up some things because with all my heart, mind, body, and soul, all I need is some good athletes. Stop shucking and jiving. I want some good athletes to just do this. Google the American Civil Liberties Union. It's not put together by Big C Sports. Google it! Because we're going to have a quiz. And when you do the quiz the way I do, you're going to answer the question in front of the whole world. It's not going to be in a classroom full of 50 people. It's going to be in front of millions of people. Because if I'm wrong, let the whole world know, man, this guy's a fraud. He don't know what he's talking about. He's just talking. He's just talking. I'm not just talking. Google it. The American Civil Liberties Union. It's a non-profit organization. Founded in 1920 to defend and preserve the individual rights and liberties guaranteed to every person in the country by the Constitution and the laws of the United States. Give that some praise. Man, I thought you were going to tell me who won the game last night. The people who win the game, they got to understand. The game is how do we get reparations for the descendants of child slavery. I know you want to sell sports shoes. I know you want to sell sports drinks. I know you want to sell some sports app. You want to sell a sandwich company. You want to sell a libation. But this is so powerful for good people, not evil people. Evil people are not even invited. You know, sometimes you go to a hotel, they give you a card, you got to slide that card through the door. If you don't have the right card, you know that door won't open. And that's what it is for Big C Sports. If you're evil, you know you can't even listen to the show. I'm going to have that app coming up by 2023. If you're evil, ignorant, insidious, a thief, a robber, a crook, you won't be able to listen. I wish every other show would do the same thing to their broadcasters. If they start lying to you about things, why would you listen to them? If our politicians start lying to you about what they're going to do for you and they don't do it, why would you listen to them? It's so important. I'm telling you, it's going to happen before Christmas. They may not mention my name, but only Big C Sports talks about reparations for everybody. Reparations now, reparations forever. I'm one beautiful, intelligent black man. I look like a fool if I'm the only one talking about reparations. It's important, people. It's important. Reparations in our lifetime, once dismissed by many as impractical, except for our Jewish brethren, they get their reparations. No one said that's impractical. The quest for reparations for the descendants of African people enslaved in the United States is now being embraced as a legitimate concept to be taken seriously. Oh, Big C, you talk too much about reparations. The remedy is not only being sought to address harms from the enslavement, but also for lingering impacts which manifest today. The illegal kidnapping, the cultural assault, and nearly 300 years of forced-free labor, followed by 100 years of convict leased labor. Black codes, Google that. Sharecropping, Google it. The peonage system, Google it. Lynchings, Google it. Mass murders, Google it. Systemic racism, Google it. Jim Crow laws, Google it. Gerrymandering, Google it. Redlining, Google it. Educational inequities, Google it. Health disparities, Google it. Mass incarceration, Google it. Give me some praise for that. Because it's still prevalent in our society. Within the collective genes of the 9-series DNA called black people in these countries. And these harms were multifaceted. Thus, remedies must be as well. Indeed, reparations can be fashioned in as many ways as necessary, by any means necessary, to equitably address the countless manifestations of injustice emanating from America's original sin. People say, well, that's a long time ago. That's a long time ago. When parents got together and made a baby because they listened to Teddy Pendergast, that was a long time ago, too. When Teddy sang, turn off the lights, ding, and light a candle, you see there's something I want to do to you, baby. That could have been a long time ago, too. But now you're listening to Big C Sports, and I'm telling you, this is for good people. Even our sports brethren that are afraid, but I'm really reaching out. I'm asking our corporations to defend reparations the same way we came together and we ended apartheid in South Africa. When our black soldiers got together to help the Union Army beat the Ku Klux Klan and the Southern Confederates, we came together. And we have a just society now. When the Marshall Plan was used to rebuild Europe after the war, United Nations, United States came together to rebuild it. Now people go to Europe on vacation. So when I say with Big C Sports, I know some people that I know say, man, you crazy, always talk about reparations. Can't you just tell me who won the game? Because they want to keep us drunk. They want us drugged up. They want us drunk in love, inebriated. You can't think when you're high. But they want you to stay. Who gives that to their kid? Give your kids liquored up when they come out of the womb. Don't give them mama's boob. Give them some hard liquor. See how well they function. Oh, there you go again, telling people what to do. I'm saying, in moderation for adults, do what you want to do. But reparation is just like something that's so pure, we have a receipt for it. I'm talking about good people in the United States. It's not about black and white. There's some companies want to make it about black and white because they know most of America historically has been antithetical to blackness. I just read you all the things in my own mind, what I've seen, and what you know too. I asked you to Google it. But talk of reparations is no longer on the fringe. And now that Jaylen Brown has acted like Big C Sports, no one's chastised him yet publicly. They may have pulled him in the private room and say, "Hey boy, we can't talk about we can't talk about that kind of stuff." They may have done that, but it's out now. So talk of reparations is no longer fringe conversation, but now front and center. And there are a multitude of faith organizations, sororities, and fraternities, professional and social justice groups, and civil human rights organizations that are working to advance reparations. Oh, Charlton, you crazy talking about that reparations stuff. Support for federal reparations legislation is escalating under the leadership of Representative Sheila Jackson Lee, who has generated more co-sponsors to H.R. 40 than ever in history. Listen up, people. Oh, Big C, you talk too much. You talk too much about reparations. President Joe Biden, he must take heed and expeditiously bring his objectives into existence via executive order. Representative Cori Bush has also recently introduced a comprehensive Reparations Now resolution that addresses issues of systemic inequality. This is bigger than Big C Sports. I wish more of our sports brethren would have just the balls the size of the grain of a mustard seed and not just for dribbling and shooting baskets. California, it passed legislation establishing a statewide commission to study and develop reparations. Has issued a comprehensive report. It's 1,100 pages. In cities across the country, they're establishing commissions and task force, good people, looking into abuses in their own backyards. This is so much more important than some of our propped up athletes talking about touchdowns, home runs, and three-point plays. If they're not talking about reparations, why would you buy their damn jersey? Why would you buy their damn shoes? And many of our brethren, they come from ancestry that were affected by the pig laws and the black codes and the mass incarceration. And our great-great-granddaddy, they had their receipt when Massa was coming in and raping their children and lynching their sons and selling off their kids. Look at your kid now when you go home. Look your kid in the eye. Now tell me, what would you do if someone took them and sold them right in front of your eyes? Oh, well, that happened a long time ago. What would you do? Reparations are due now for the people that couldn't do anything. They saw their loved ones lynched for standing up to them. How dare I just tell you who won a game? Leaders across the country, they're taking notice. This is bigger than Big C Sports. The United States Conference of Mayors, the Players Coalition of Professional Athletes and coaches and owners across the leagues, banking institutions, and many more have picked up the banner to endorse reparations. Give that some praise. It's not just me. Good people. I have my receipts. There are white groups that are also committed to truth-telling. Whether it's Ben & Jerry's Ice Cream has issued a call to corporations to collectively use their power and privilege to reckon with the past. The Homestead Act 1862, United States government, it gave over 276 million acres of land to white Americans and white Europeans. But you couldn't be black. You couldn't be the people that worked this land for free. The Virginia and Princeton theological seminaries, they are addressing reparations and dioceses of the Episcopal Church in several jurisdictions have committed financial restitution as a moral acknowledgement of the church's historic complicity. The church! Are you good or are you evil? Which line do you want to stand in? If you're a politician, or if you're a business owner, if you're a president of a corporation or a sports team, choose a side! What line will you stand in? The evil people or the good people? And let people know your name. Oh, we don't believe we should have to pay reparations for something that we stole over 150 years ago. We know Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has his own sick issue right now he's dealing with. He stood up and said in front of God, he does not believe in reparations. He does not believe in repairing what happened and that was stolen from descendants of chattel slavery. How in the hell did he get the power? It's good versus evil. It's not black and white. But black Americans were the ones that were enslaved. So yeah, for that it is black and white. It was black and white. But it took black and white people to end slavery. It wasn't just black people. It was good people. So I want to make sure that we include our good white brethren in the solution. It's not about black versus the world. It's about, are you good or are you evil? You know if you're good or evil. You know if you're a good or evil person. You know if you ain't worth a crap. I don't care what your title is. You know if you're good or evil. And so when you vote anti-reparations, that tells the whole world that you're evil. It tells God that you're evil. Who cares about your title? Good people. And that's the only people that can follow Big C Sports are good people. By the beginning of 2024, I'm going to have a filter that filters out evil people. And I ask that all of you do it too. If you can't Google what I tell you, don't listen to me. Oh, he just shucking and jiving. If you can't Google what I tell you, do not listen to my show. When I'm dead and gone, you can Google what I said. The financial backers of many of the country's top universities, they were wealthy slave owners. It's an ugly truth that can no longer be pushed aside. Georgetown University, which stands today because of the sale of black people, owned by astounding Jesuits, has announced a $100 million commitment toward a foundation for descendants of those that saved the university from bankruptcy. Harvard University. Oh, Big C, you talk too much. You talk too much about reparations. Harvard University. Harvard has dedicated $100 million to begin to atone for his extensive ties to enslavement of 9 series DNA people and the perpetuation of racial inequality. 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 Oh, I don't believe we should have to pay reparations for something that we stole 150 years ago. Just shut up and dribble. And in Virginia, a reparations bill was passed by the state legislature in 2021 that targets 5 schools with ties to slavery, including the University of Virginia and the College of William and Mary, all of whom owe their foundational success to the forced labor of enslaved black people who helped build and run the institutions in their early days. People got to know this stuff. How could you ask God to bless your own family when you're complicit in believing that God should not bless those who've already been robbed and raped and murdered and lynched? And you call yourself a politician? You call yourself a believer of the people? Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. JFK didn't pass reparations. Black Americans voted for him. There have been many racial atrocities, lynchings, and massacres. Past damages are being uncovered and redressed. In California, the state has acknowledged that the governmental theft of the lucrative black-owned Bruce's Beach property that passed legislation to return it to its rightful owners. There are current efforts to address in Florida 1920s Election Day bloodbath, the 1919 terrorism that ravaged Elaine, Arkansas black community, and many, many, many more. The land housing unimaginable horrors of Atlanta's Chattahoochee Brick Company, which perpetuated slavery through convict leasing, is being reclaimed by the people, and displaced family in Palm Springs, California, are seeking to compensate and atone for the callous raising and evictions of an entire community. In Tulsa, Oklahoma, renewed litigation is underway to achieve reparatory justice for the violent massacre of Black Wall Street. Recommendations from the commission formed in 2000 and charged with investigating the 1898 racial insurrection in Wilmington, North Carolina. They still await passage by the legislature. There's so much to get into. You got to give that some praise. And I feel like I'm more emboldened now, because when I started this push for reparations, I started this about 5 years ago. It was like 2017, 2018, and it caught on more and more, because that time, I got to be candid with you, there were times when people say, man, if you start talking about that stuff more than sports, you're gonna lose your program. I said, if that's what God wants to happen, then let that happen. But I'm not afraid. And I'm one man. What if we had just 5 people that had the same courage that I have? Just 5 networks, from ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whatever it is. Imagine if I just told you about some major institutions that are acknowledging what our famous black athletes and white athletes, they're afraid to even mention. What if there were 10 big C's? Oh, there you go, being arrogant. You think it's all about you. I just told you the universities that were around longer than I've been born that are now saying, you know what, maybe Big C was right. Because it's about good versus evil. Slavery was about black and white. Redlining was about black and white. Gerrymandering about black and white. We know that. But they're good people. There were some good abolitionists that happened to be white that tried to end slavery. But there are also some evil white people. They know they benefited from slavery. Let them stay in the evil line. They might smile on your face and grin. Hey, brother, how you doing, brother? They know they're evil. But there's some who are very decent. And they shout down the evil people. And that's why I want, for our politicians, put your hand on the Bible, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. You believe in reparations or not? Because we have a receipt. It's time, and I want to give that some praise. It's time, people. I love it. I've met so many wonderful people over the weekend, and just beautiful people over the weekend that have a history of doing things for others, not just for themselves. And so that's to me is important, and I love to bring that up because I love talking about it. I'm going to close out today a little bit on Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, and I'm telling you, I love the world of boxing. The debate over the best welterweight in the modern era is over. Terrence Crawford, he dominated Errol Spence. It was on Saturday night, scoring 3 knockdowns and stopping Spence in the 9th round to become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Give us a break. Give us a praise. And that's great. You know what I also want to see? I want to see our great athletes knock out the anti-reparationists. The same way we cheer for sports and we cheer for athletes, reparations is for our ancestry. It's not just for those who are living. Obviously, we're going to benefit from it. It's going to help our society. Who doesn't want to stimulate the economy? Name that person who does not want to stimulate the American economy. For all the garbage that 9 Series DNA has gone through, black Americans, who would be against the people who have a receipt getting reparations for it, like our Jewish brethren. No one should be against that. Pac-12 Commissioner George Kolikoff is set to present media rights deal to member schools. It's amazing how people are fleecing the Pac-12, and it's gone on for so long. You wonder how it happened. It happened because obviously the Pac-12 was maybe lax. They were like the people that say, we don't want to talk about reparations now. Let's kick it down the road 50 years. Well, the Pac-12 Commission is expected to present a potential media rights deal to member institutions within the next 48 hours, according to multiple news reports, as you hear on Big C Sports. And the news of the expected presentation comes 4 days after Colorado abruptly defected from the conference to head back to his former home. The Big 12 used to be the Big 8 at that time. And it creates a lot of uncertainty around the Pac-12. USC and UCLA, they decided they're going to leave and play in the Big 10, and that starts next year in 2024. And despite more than a year passing, the league has yet to present firm numbers for a television contract to its renaming member schools. How did the Pac-12 let that happen? Whether it's Arizona, Arizona State, Cal, Stanford, what do they do? Oregon, Oregon State, Washington, Washington State. They waited too long, and Big C and I were talking about that a couple of years ago. Why is the Pac-12 allowing somebody to fleece them? The California is the number 4 media market. Actually, the number 4 as far as GDP in the world. California, with USC, UCLA, Cal, and Stanford. You can't tell me you have more media coverage in the Midwestern states, whether it's Nebraska or Indiana or in Iowa. You can't tell me that. It was just contracts. Just like reparations. You got to have the right people with the right mindset to make it come to pass. Imagine if the only people that will oppose reparations in the United States for descendants of child slavery are evil people. They're the only ones. You can say, oh, they're just ignorant. No, they're evil. If each one of those people that oppose reparations, if they were to go home tonight and somebody had taken everything out of their home and taken their children too, and their spouse, you don't think they'd make a police report? If they went home and everything they owned and cared about, their property, their children, their spouse, was gone, you don't think they'd make a report and try to get those people back and their properties back, their children? But how do you say that descendants of child slavery should not get repairs and money and grants and education and housing vouchers? There's no way you can say you're not an evil person. People report that their bicycle was stolen. People report they can't find their cat, they can't find their dog. Descendants of child slavery, we know we have receipts. People have the social security numbers where people were born, who they are. All we want is the same thing our Jewish brethren get, which is reparations now, reparations forever. That's my story. So as Big C Sports, one beautiful, intelligent black man, it's not about me. It's about good versus evil. It's about doing the right thing. We all want to do the right thing. As I say, as reparations will pass, more and more people will come to the black community asking you to invest money in their pipe dream. Invest money in their company so as they get more money, then you can grow with them. No, you want to give me money? Give it to me now! When I go to buy gas, would you believe they make me pay for the gas before the gas comes out of the pump? I can't go in there and tell them how good looking they are. I can't tell them how handsome you look. I can't say how beautiful you are. Let me get a full tank of gas. They say, sir, you got to pay for the gas first. I said, but I just told you how handsome and how beautiful you are. Won't that work? They say, no, it doesn't work that way, sir. Neither is reparations. You got to pay for what you want. The United States wanted all that labor from 1619 to 1865. And unlike paying for gas, they didn't pay for it. They stole it. And black Americans have the receipt. Reparations now, reparations forever. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Well, as I always tell you, if you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink, because mothers against drunk drivers are mad. And fathers against drunk drivers are mad. It's one of the easiest things not to do. You can call Uber, you can call Lyft, you can call a cab. You can sleep it off, you can walk it off. The life you save may be your own. Isn't it worth saving? Well, back in the day, there's a man known by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. He would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. He said, with all you got to use, how can you lose? Always say, I'm so pretty, I can't possibly be beat. All these big sea birds make me light on my feet. That's why I float like a butterfly, and I sting like a bee, and I'm the heavyweight champion of the world. My beautiful mother always says, there's never, ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage on their own. If you know anybody going through that issue, pick up the phone and call 911, because things change when the police show up. No man, woman, or child should ever have to go through that garbage. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. As I always tell you, on every Big C Sports Show, I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super, fantastic day. As I always tell you, in words of the late, great Abraham Lincoln, reparations now, reparations forever. Say it 2 more times. In the words of the great President Abraham Lincoln, reparations now, reparations forever. Say it with me 1 more time, like you cheered at a game. In the words of the Honorable President Abraham Lincoln, reparations now, reparations forever. Have a super fantastic day.